Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another one of the President's videos. I should say Happy New Year. This is the first video of 2021. We have a special guest with us this morning. We have Rick Blesson, our Director of Advancement. Say hi, Rick.
Hello, everyone.
So Rick's been with us, what, Rick, about 3 years?
3 years, just past 3.
Okay,
Yep.
Great. It's fantastic. And one of the things I thought we could talk about, Rick, this morning is we are just pretty much finishing our first phase of facilities projects as it relates to our facilities master plan. And I'm going to share my screen a little bit, but while I'm sharing my screen, you tell us what approach from a private giving perspective did we take on that first round in terms of naming rights and so forth. So why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Sure. It's always interesting when you have the good fortune of having a facility, say like the Creek Carrier Diesel Technology and Welding Center, or the Health Science Facility, or the Academic Excellence Facility in Beatrice, that the community is aware that there's funding for, but you're still trying to recruit their support. Some of these projects we've enjoyed some great success with. Some of them we're still working hard to get some dollars in, but it's a different challenge if they know the dollars are there. As we move through this into the second phase, we're sort of going to flip that script a little bit and come to a more, let's call it a traditional capital campaign model that we'll be able to implement.
So Rick, for this first round, I'm showing all of the projects that we put under the category of phase 1. And you can see if we have it broken out by campus. So it's more than just facilities. For example, you can see in really every case on each campus, we had to build out our infrastructure. So we had loop road installation, utilities installation, but you can see in Milford we have diesel technology. That's the Creek Carrier Diesel Technology and Welding Center, and that was the first building where we had a very large gift. It's from a private donor. So I think, and you can see we have that for Beatrice as well as Lincoln. And one of the things, and you just sort of mentioned it, for the first round of projects, we really weren't in a position to pursue the traditional capital campaign gifts because we hadn't built a lot of these large scale projects, and we needed to establish clear evidence that's something we could do. And now we're going to be pursuing those others. I did want to mention to everyone that I think we've raised somewhere between 5 and 6 million when you count grants, private gifts, naming rights, all of that is somewhere in that range. So we're starting to really develop some partnerships. So this second round, you had kind of mentioned, you can see some additional, this is what we're calling phase 2, some things we're already working on. And then we're looking at phase 3 and some of these things. For example, you mentioned the Welding Center that we're going to be looking at. That, how do you go about, who do you talk to, and how do you go about getting potential benefactors together to help us with these, to do more traditional capital campaigns? What role do you have in that, and what does that look like, Rick?
Well, Welding Center is a great example. We have, quietly, we have one of, if not the largest community college welding programs in the United States. And with that comes a lot of strong relationships, whether it's Kawasaki or Burlington Northern or Black Hills Energy. Our partners are already there that we know that we're going to need to enlist in these efforts. And what's nice about that is they already know the need. They know that our faculty is maxed out, 7:30 in the morning, 9:30 at night, 6 days out of the week. They are busy. More space would mean more opportunity for them, for certification, for more students to grow the workforce. So no, these projects where we already have a defined need, the defined partners are wonderful because we can go to each of those larger employers in industry. We can also go to the community at large who will see the benefit from partnering with us. And we're able to set sort of, I guess, let's go with the budget I'm trying to think of the right term I want to use, but we know what SCC can contribute to a building, but now with the true partnership, we can say, okay, we're going to need you to carry 40% of this load for us if we're going to make this happen. Sure. And that, from what initial conversations we've had regarding welding and some other spaces, that percentage seems to be something that most folks are pretty comfortable with. So I look forward to these because, like I said, will be the first time that SCC has monetized a lot of these relationships. And it's been a long time coming, and we've got strong partners that know it's time for them to do their share.
And I think one of the things that's real important as we go through these more traditional campaigns is in, Rick, you kind of know, you will know when it's time to bring me in to talk to these groups. And it's pretty early on. I think one of the things, I've been meeting with a lot of potential benefactors, as you know, because what Rick does is he'll send me, as we get further along in the process, he'll send me contacts, information, we'll set up the meeting, and I'll come in, and what the potential private donor wants to hear is they want to know the larger vision. They want to know where the college is going, what's the strategic direction of the college, because these projects are seen as important components of the larger vision. And one of the main things I talk about, Rick, is that what we're doing in terms of modernizing SCC, we're doing it absolutely for the purpose of expanding our capacity to produce a qualified workforce. We have this really, really critical issue in Nebraska, and that's a lack of skilled workers. So that's the main message. The only way to really directly address that is to ensure you have the capacity to produce a skilled workforce. And we know we have to expand. We know that we produce 16,000 graduates every 10 years in exactly the same areas where we have shortages. Given that about 90% stay in Nebraska, then we know how to solve the problem. We have to expand our capacity. And that's what we're doing. So Rick, anything else you want to add about, I'll put you on the spot a little bit. What is one of your favorite things about what you do? Not everybody would say that fundraising is something they would like to do. Asking people, to give that to a project is not really the easiest thing to do.
No, it's not, but it all starts with awareness. And one of my favorite things I've done, I believe, is making, whether they're donors or whether it's just community, far more aware of the impact that SCC has had, is having, and more importantly, where we're positioned educationally to impact Nebraska, Lincoln, all of our service areas for the next 20, 50 years. We've got a key role to play. And when you start laying out all of the important things that we do, watching people's eyes open and watching people do what I'll call basic math on what it costs to educate someone and the impact it will make, the return on investment. That's my favorite part, is watching that happen.
Well, that's a great answer, Rick. Thank you so much for spending a little time with us. I think because you're relatively new and SCC is fairly new in its advancement sort of maturity, this is an exciting time for us. And I think what I've realized as we've grown in terms of advancement is that there are a lot of entities and potential private donors, foundations. They want to help us. They want to be part of this modernization, but we just have to make sure that we share our vision and try to make sure we're as inclusive as we possibly can be in terms of getting individuals to partner with us or companies and so forth. Anything else, Rick, before we wrap this up?
Happy New Year, everybody.
Hey, thank you for that. Thank you so much. And everybody have a great rest of your morning. Take care.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks, everyone. Take care.